Hello and welcome. My name is Israel, and today we're going to be talking about Cloud Pages database features and how they work. So this is going to be a short video. Essentially, what we're going to go through is look at some of the database methods that we have set up in the FB client special object that we have in Cloud Pages, and what those two methods do. Essentially, allow you to run a query, and then the second one to allow you to run a query with named parameters. We'll try that, show you how that works, what you should expect from it, what you should not expect from it. Try and error to, just to make sure everyone understands uh, what they should expect from the interface. So what I've got here is a very basic, page setup. We're just going to use the refresh feature in the page, and in this case, I just have nothing here. I'll just drop in my my console log to prove that I've got it right. Oops. And yeah, we're there. We're cool. So in the documentation, we have this method called run query, and I'll have that off to the side here. And run query takes essentially a string input, and it's very, very basic. The idea is we're going to take a look at some results, FB client run query, and we're going to select star from company as we have in the docs, right? And we'll do console log results, right? Cool. And the first thing we've got to explain is how it works. Now, in the reference documentation, the signature for this method says you input a string SQL and you'll get a string result, right? And that's what you're seeing here. You're seeing a string result of one particular row from the company table. And that's not particularly useful from a JavaScript point of view. We're going to want to parse that into a JSON object. So we should be able to use results object JSON parse results, and if we give that a refresh, and not only just a log, console log results object, we should be able to see, yeah, perfect. Now, if we're going to be doing things with multiple rows, let's say the sales order table, that it'd be advisable to not just log as a single object like that. We've got a bunch of data here. We can use log table. That's a new feature, and we can look at our table, pretty easily, right? This is the very basic way of interacting with the data that we have from Fishbowl. Now, let's say you're running a report and you have some sort of parameter that allows you to select the customer ID. In this case, let me pull customer ID, number, total price from the sales order table. And let's take a look at what that looks like. Okay, so in this case, we're gonna look at customer ID 44 and return 10 results to that. So how do we do that now with a parameter? Well, you obviously could very well easily just hard code that parameter in here, so you can string interpolate or concat or whatever. No one's gonna stop you from doing so, right? And that works, like no big deal. But I don't particularly like it. Like nobody should be using direct SQL and direct SQL strings. We want to avoid SQL injection, and we want to make sure that types get passed down to the database correctly. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the other function that we have for the database is called run query with parameters. So we're going to add run query parameters, and then the second parameter is a string of an object. So what we'll do is we'll say var params new, say customer ID 44, and then we'll JSON stringify params. Cool. So now we run that. Oops, save. There we go. And we're getting some errors because this, I didn't pass it along, so I will pass that along here. Let me just move it around, make it easy to read. And instead of customer ID, put it down, there we go. We're going to say customer ID, give it a parameter, and then we're going to give it our object. Cool. So there we go. So we have an object. We created an object. We converted it to JSON. We logged it just for clarity. We went ahead and ran the new run query parameters method, where we specify a SQL statement with a named parameter, in this case customer ID, and then we supplied that parameter in a string of JSON. It went and ran results, got the results back, put it into a nice table, and that's it. In other videos, we'll show more other features and functionality, but the database workflow is pretty straightforward. You can use really any kind of parameter. In this case, let's do maybe date created. Let's do that as a greater than sign, and then let's call it date created. Date created. And in this case, it'll be a string 2024 0101, right? Very valid parameter. Let's give that a run. And we have everything that got created after 2024 101. Let's go and let's add that as an output. Date created. There we go. And we have it. Neat. If you have any questions, leave a comment, send us a note on the socials, and we'd be happy to see what you guys create with us. Thanks. Bye.